It's almost the end of June now. We haven't had a drop of rain for the whole month, and there's none forecast till mid-July. It has been hot and very, very dry, but that's why I've been able to afford to leave these bales in this field for the last couple of weeks since we did the harvest. We've just been taking from them as we need them, topping up the cows. All the cow barns are full of straw, which is all good. Now, what we got from the field, from the bale counter, 315 bales. 240 centimetre, 9,000 litre bales. That comes to just over 2.8 million litres of straw. So that is something quite incredible. Clara's on her way up here now. We're just going to make another start on it. We've been, as I said, we've been kind of going at it in little bits. We got the bales done a while ago, but I've just been leaving them out here in the field for now. With it being so dry and so hot, they're nicely dried out, so it's all good. But yeah, we've got a big job ahead of us because I now do have somewhere to put them. As I say, it's been a couple of weeks since the last video that I made on here. The contractors have been out. They have dismantled that big white workshop because I have made the purchase of all that land over there. So it's all mine. And over the last week or so, I've been running the 475 speed tiller, and I've created myself one big grass field, so I'll go and show you that at some point very soon. But over there now we have a fully re-erected workshop, painted red, with a bit of fencing around it, and we've also got 2 bale sheds with a total combined capacity of about 660 bales, which is pretty good and quite handy really, because as I say, 315 bales just out of this one field. And I'll be running the mulcher in this field at some point very soon, but just leaving it to sit for a couple of months, because come September is when I can get some barley into the ground. That's going to be the next cereal crop that we're going to get into this ground for a bit of crop rotation, a bit of variety, but also we'll still get straw from the barley, so that's what we need. And I reckon by the time that comes, we'll have a very, very big stock of straw bales. That'll be job done. So, what's going down today? Well, I need to get the grass field drilled, obviously. I'll go and show you that ASAP, but as I say, Clara's on her way up here in a few minutes, and we need to get this lot completely finished off, get all the bales loaded up onto the trailer, get them all stowed away into the bale sheds. And when we've done that, I'll take you over there and show you what we've been up to. Well, that has literally taken me and Clara all day to get all those bales out of there. Now, I knew it was going to be a big job, don't get me wrong, but the bale handler that we've got attached to the tally handler, that takes 4 bales at a time, getting all those loaded up. The bale trailer can take around about 28 bales pretty much. And we had 270-something bales, I think, 269, I think, in the field left over from the ones that we'd taken over into the cow shed. So, job done, field emptied. Brilliant. The next job for this bit of land is to run the mulcher in here, and yeah, as I say, I think we'll be considering a field of barley come September. So we've got a bit of time ahead of us before we can need to stress about that. And behind me is the new grass field. So here it is. This is a pretty decent sized piece of land. It's just north of 78 acres. And this is entirely going to be responsible for the grass, which has had me thinking about what to do with the existing grass field that I've got around there. The other one that obviously we had the 2. This was initially part of this field was a grass field, wasn't it? We've just enlarged it 3 or 4 fold at least, which has made me consider what to do with the grass field that's just over the trees there. I might still just give it one last rolling and get another crop of grass out of it for now, perhaps get another cut. I suppose I've got the time to do that, haven't I? If I give it another roll, get another cut out of it, and then by that time it could be time to plant some barley, in which case I'll go do this field as barley and do that field as barley, and yeah, the more the merrier, as it were, because that'll be entirely for the purposes of straw bales, and the crop will just be sold for money. But anyway, so that's that, and that's that. As you can see, the workshop is no longer there anyway. It's just around the corner. I'm going to show you that now, but what do you think of this? I've always wanted one of these. I figured for whizzing myself and Clara around the farm when we need to get to different places, one of these would be ideal. It wasn't very expensive, just north of 10 grand. But it's an absolute beast. It's just over 80 horsepower. It's just under 950 kilograms, and it goes like a scalded cat. And it's really cheap to run. It's 4-wheel drive, so it's just the perfect little farm run around. I really think it is. I can put a little bit of stuff in the back if I needed to, but that's obviously not the purpose for it. The purpose for me anyway was just to move myself around as cheaply as possible to save shifting around in the pickup truck or the tractor, because that pickup truck is, as much as I love it, it's a very thirsty thing. You don't really measure it in miles per gallon, it's more gallons per mile in that thing. So, anyway, onwards, round the corner, here we are to, that was the white workshop. It's now red, in all its splendour. But yeah, the contractors have done a very decent job of this place, they really have. So, oh, I'll show you that in a minute as well. So, yeah, let me stick some lights on. Where are we? Need to find my way. Where's the light switch? There we are. So, pretty decent workshop. This is the quaddy. Got it in here because I thought I'd create this as a, for now anyway, it's just going to be the planter shed, so anything to do with the planter, the seed tender. We've got the planter and we've got the seeder here as well. Look at that, I mean there's room enough to unfold the planter in here and the seeder at the same time. It did, when it was sat over there, before they dismantled it, it did have a load of pallet racking. It had a big length of pallet racking on this side. It had a bit of it on this side and a bit of it over there as well, but I kind of didn't think I really needed it. Ideally I wanted the floor space more than the pallet racking space, so I sold them on. But yeah, it's still a pretty cool thing. It did have a whole load of stuff in it. It had a load of toolboxes and a couple of bits and bobs of tools. So yeah, we've taken hold of them. We've got a bit of storage space up there if need be. Some shelves and for parts and stuff. But yeah, it's a pretty awesome little place, this. It really is. So anyway, on to the important stuff. Let's get these lights turned off and I'll go and show you what I bought at an auction the other day. Now, I've always wanted one of these as well. Obviously, it doesn't provide anywhere near as much of a use or a usefulness as the ATV does, but here's an old 1992 1455 XL. I've always wanted one of these, and it came up for auction. It doesn't start, it doesn't run, it needs a load of work. It looks a bit rough, it's not had a clean for about a decade. The inside is particularly mouldy, the paint is faded quite bad. Anyone who's pays attention to vehicles, cars, tractors, trucks, and if they're red and they spent a long time out in the sun, red paint fades quite badly. And this is no exception, so this is going to be in need of a full overhaul from top to bottom. But I kind of fancied the project, and because I've always loved an XL, I really have, I just bought it for the sake of it. It was good money. I figured I'd have it. I'm not necessarily planning on putting it to work on the farm. I really don't know what I'll do with it. I'm just going to make it run. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to make it look good, presentable. Yeah, we'll go from there. I might find the odd small thing it can do, but that's not the purpose of it. The purpose is entirely for me. Just because. So, that's that. Anyway, right. What's next to show you? The grain, the bale sheds, sorry, grain sheds. What am I saying? Right, let's take ourselves round to these bale sheds. I'll show you what they look like. Literally just along the road. Lovely bit of fencing installed by the contractors as well. It looks really nice down here. It really does. So here we are. Not only are they bale sheds, but they've also got a little bit of storage. So now forgive me, I can't remember exactly the numbers that we put in each, but needless to say, there are quite a few bales in there, and there are quite a few bales in here. This one's got a fair few more in than the other, but neither of them are completely full yet. But plan is at some point over the next, well, definitely over the next year or so, I plan to have a mass backlog of straw to keep the cows topped up. And as I say, a little bit of an area for vehicle stowage. So this baler, obviously this is an absolute beast of a baler. I'm very glad I made this purchase all that time ago. Yeah, it's really good bit of kit. Very happy with it indeed. So yeah, it's all good down here. But do you know what? It's been a long day. It really has been a long day. We've got a lot done now, but I think tomorrow morning the first thing I want to do is I need to get the grass seed down. That's first and foremost the most important thing. I need to get it. As soon as I get it in, the sooner it grows, the sooner I can get it cut. So that's the plan. And as I said, there's been no rain forecast till at least mid-July. But just look at the size of this field. It's an absolute whopper. It really is. Whopper-sized field. Not quite a touch on the cornfield, of course, and the soybeans, but it's still a big one. And for the grass, it's going to provide us with a huge amount of it, as long as I keep up with my field prep. Now, Jack did come out 2 days ago, and he did run his John Deere dry box lime spreader over it for me. So the pH values are roughly what they should be, I think. But I'll get the grass seed down, and we'll give it a going over with a bit of liquid fertiliser in the sprayer. Make sure it's as healthy as it can be. So yeah, that's roughly what I've got in mind over the next couple of days anyway. So, but it's knocking on the door of about 8 o'clock now. So I'm going to get myself home and have a good night's kip. And we'll get started bright and early tomorrow morning. See what I mean though, this thing is an absolute beast. Whizzing along. Slow down, brakes. Ooh, goodness me. It is quite a strange thing to be driving something so small after spending such a huge amount of time lately driving all this big stuff. Obviously the big quad track, the big 12-wheel Steiger, obviously driving this thing's smaller than a set of those wheels, isn't it? I'll go straight to my door, shall I? But yeah, it's quite the difference. There we go. Let's just offer it up to this front. Goodness me, this size difference. Do love it though. Really happy I've got it. Right, anyway, till tomorrow. Morning. There she is. Been taking full advantage of the ATV already. Just going to check on my cows. But yeah, she's been taking full advantage of it. She'll have had to park her truck over at the new place over there. Come down here, I think she's come down here in the Optum, which was parked over there. She's hooked up the trailer to sort the manure out. And she's taken the ATV back over there to get the telehandler to come back and hook the bucket up to the telehandler and get loaded in the manure. So, that was the whole purpose for buying that thing, honestly. It wasn't because I wanted a nice fun little toy around the farm. Morning ladies, how we doing? Alright, just come and check on the animals, see how they're doing. How you doing, love? But yeah, looking all healthy, they're doing good. They've got an easy life, haven't they? They just eat, sleep, graze and defecate. Most of which earns me money, so that's all good. But yeah, they're all doing okay. So, I need to crack on myself. I think one of the Magnums is over at the new workshop over there, the new sheds. I think it's parked in one of the bale sheds, isn't it? But I need to get sorting the drilling of the grass field. So I'm going to get myself over there right away. I can leave Clara to it for the next few hours. She's got a good chunk of manure and slurry to get shifted. It's pretty much been the start of her day every day since she's been down here on the farm with me. So anyway, let's crack on. Right, here we go. I think that should be about right. There we go. Job's a good one. Now, believe it or not, this planter just fits out of this door unfolded with millimetres to spare either side. There we go. Hoses. Excellent stuff. So, let's give this thing a topping up with the seed. Just hooked up the pickup truck to the tender there. So let's pull this out, because I can't actually fold this up inside because of the height. There we go. Look at that, you see? Perfect. Perfect. So let's we'll keep those open for now. Let's fold that up. Right, get this thing filled up with seed. Let's get into the field. Right, spot of wiggling around, but there we go. Got there in the end. So we'll get this thing fully topped up, and then this is going to be our destination for the next few hours. We've got a lovely crop of grass sown. Right, we're going to be starting up this end of the field, starting with the field centres, of course, finishing off with the headlands. I've got the pickup truck and seed tender there, ready and waiting in case I need a top-up. But yeah, this is going to be the next couple of hours spoken for, I feel. I should have a nice little access point here. Just pull down this little lane. There we go. Right. Let's crack on. Right, there we go, job done. Now, good news and bad news. Good news, obviously, we've got this whopping grass field sown, so not long to wait, a couple of months perhaps, 3, 4 perhaps at tops, before we can get this mown and reap the benefits, as it were. Bad news, the Optum just died on Clara. She's managed to limp it into the workshop up at the farm, but she said, in her words, it just died. So I'm not too sure what's gone on with that. To be fair, it has been overdue for a service for quite a while, so it is a bit of a workhorse. So to be fair, it clearly needs a good coat of looking at. So anyway, job done. I've just sent Clara down to the workshop. She phoned me up before, asking me what the next thing she wants to do is. So she's just gone down to the shop, to go and pick up the new windrower that I ordered several weeks ago. It's arrived a little bit later than planned, so I wasn't able to take advantage of it in the oat field there with the straw rows. Oh, there she is. Here she comes. But nonetheless, it's here now, thankfully. The biggest one I could get my hands on at 15 metres. Let's take a look at it as she whizzes past. Now she's going to get on with the grass rolling in the grass field over yonder, so there it is. That looks alright, doesn't it? as I say, biggest one I could find, 15 metres in width. Unfortunately, like I say, I couldn't take advantage of it in the oat field, so that's probably one of the reasons why that job took so long. But we've got it now, and it is going to pay dividends when we can get the first cut out of this field anyway. Condensing the rows up in this massive field is going to be an absolute must, so looking forward to getting that running, sorry. So anyway, I'm going to get this seeder cleaned off, because I didn't mention before, did I, that this workshop has also got a built-in jet washer, so I'm going to take full advantage of that. So now I've got 2 jet washers on the farm, so I have absolutely no excuse for having dirty equipment, do I? So let's get this all cleaned off. Now what I'm also going to do, I think I did talk about before, potentially getting the sprayer in this field and topping up the nitrogen, but what I'm actually going to do, now this is, I suppose it slipped my mind a bit really, I'm going to take advantage of the massive quantity of digestate that we have over in the biogas plant. So for the first time, we are going to dig out the big slurry tank with the massive 30-metre dribble bar. And we're going to get working in there and see if we can top up the nitrogen to a decent standard. Now ideally I need about 20 kilograms a hectare. The grass needs about 65. It's currently sitting at around 35 to 40 in most of that field. So that's the aim, as it were. Now, I need to be really careful here, because this does fit through the door, but only just. So I think I'm going to need both hands for this. So I'll put this lot down, get it all cleaned off. I'll see you back at the farm, hopefully, connecting up the big slurry tank. Right, let's get ourselves hooked up for the first time to this thing. There we go. PTO. Those cables secured properly. There we are. In fact, while I'm here, let's just go and have a quick check on this Optum. Because it was particularly vague. It just stopped working. But obviously I'm not going to be able to tell anything just by looking at it, but oh goodness no, sure enough, it is completely dead. Turning the key, absolutely nothing. Okay, right. Well, that obviously deserves a bit more time than I can afford to throw at it right now. As I said, it's long overdue a service, so it's about time it got a coat of looking at, but hey ho, check this thing out. Like I said repeatedly, this is the biggest thing windrow-wise that I could get my hands on, 15 metres. And it really is going to come into its own when that grass field, when we get the first cut out of it. Looking forward to that though. But for now, let's get this behemoth down to the biogas plant. We'll top it up with its first tank of digestate. Let's see how big of a dent we can make in our quantity of the stuff down there. So let's get this thing out of here carefully. There we go. Right. So I'll get this lot done, get it loaded up, and I shall see you back in the grass field. Right, that's us all filled up. I tell you what though, the difference between this loaded and unloaded is crazy. This really does feel like it's struggling. Now I know, yep, we've got 30 tons of the stuff in a big tank behind us, but I was kind of hoping this Magnum would cope with it pretty well, but you can really tell we've got a massive weight behind us. Goodness me. Wow. Well, I will crack on with this tractor for now. I'm kind of wondering whether to run the 715 with it, just for the sake of making it easier, but I'm sure this will cope with it just fine. He says. Right, to the field. And much like before, we're going to start at this end of the field. Start with the field centres. Finish off with the headlands. There we go. Look at that expand. Goodness me. What a thing. So, let's get spreading some muck, shall we? Boom, job done, muck spread, field fertilised. So very happy with that. We have used, I think, if my mathematics has done me correctly, which it very rarely does, I think we're looking at just north of half a million litres of digestate that we've taken out of that biogas plant. So, but it's to be expected. It's an 80-acre field. It's absolutely massive. So, what can I say? Needs a must. Job done. Very happy with that. So, anyway, right, Clara's waiting in the wings here to run the field roller in this field, so I'm going to get this behemoth tidied up, taken back to the farm, get it all disconnected, tidied away into the shop. I'll come back down here, catch up with Clara, see how she's doing. She's a good egg, isn't she, our Clara? I'll tell you what, I do feel very fortunate to have her working for me on the farm. I've really got to say that. It's not often I get these opportunities where I'm just kind of sitting on my bum here, just reflecting on things, I suppose. It's normally me doing this field work, but yeah, as I say, I'm very lucky to have her. She's such a hard worker, an absolute machine. She's turned her hand at just about everything that I've asked her to do with absolute success, and she's keen to learn more. She really is. It's, what can I say? I'm a lucky farmer. Lucky farmer. But anyway, she'll be done very shortly. This will be this field completely boxed off. So I'm hoping to get a very good yield out of this field from its first cut. But while Clara's been busy in there, I've been having a tidy up. I'm going to take this this old wrecker back over to the farm and tidy it away for now until I can figure out what I'm going to do with it and what progress to make with it. I suppose I could give it a wash for first and foremost. That's one thing I could do, but yeah, it's getting on now. It's just it's early evening, just gone 6:30. But another busy day, what can I say? We've been hard at it, and we've got pretty far. So I'm looking forward to the first cut of this. As I say, a couple of months away. But until then, plenty to do.